Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Rockstar Flipper YouTube channel. Welcome, everybody in live show Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for being here. And I appreciate everybody who's joined me. We already got 50 some odd people in the chat. Mute it. Hold on. Rookie mistake. I forgot to mute my my thing. Okay, there we go. All right, so thank you guys for being here. We already have over 50 people in the chat, so appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. And you saw the title. We're going to talk about bulk purchasing. Obviously, I've been doing a little bulk purchasing lately, but I do it a little different than most of you. But we're going to talk about several different routes that you can go for bulk purchasing. And we're going to talk about ways that you can come up with material, ways that you can cut down on your sourcing time. Obviously, our day is made up of three things as a reseller. You're either sourcing, you're listing, or you're selling. Now, of course, there's admin and back-end work, but those are the three main things that you should be doing on a daily basis. And if you can cut one of those out altogether, you immediately free up time to do more listing, which is selling. The important part is selling. Anybody can source and get merchandise. That doesn't make you money. That costs money. Selling is what makes you money, which is the listing part or the finding buyers or promoting or sharing. That's all part of selling, and that's what you should be spending the most time on. So we're going to talk a little bit about cutting out the sourcing and removing one of those time sucks, because think about it. Going around store to store to store is an amazing way to start a business. It's an amazing way to resell. It's an awesome way to find merchandise. It's awesome to go out to thrift stores for 3 or 4 or 5 hours and buy 20, 30, 40 items and come home and then list them. But if you can have the merchandise show up to your door once you've built the capital and the ability and the processes and the procedures, and you know what you're doing, and you have, you know, some education, some experience, then why not have stuff just show up to your door? I'm not saying don't go out and source. Obviously, it's a great way to do things, but to have merchandise show up to your door is nearly priceless. So quick hello, my admin's in the house. My main man admin here is Adam, Adam's Exploits. If you guys haven't subscribed to Adam's channel, go check it out. He interviews all of us resellers and does some of his own content. Adam's Exploits, he can link it for you. He's the admin. He's got that big blue wrench. If you got questions, concerns in the chat, please direct them on over to him. He'll help you out. He's really close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone for anyone who uploads on YouTube. And if you could help Adam get to 1,000, please go click his link he's going to put there and click that subscribe button and check out some of his videos, even if it's just tonight or just a couple days. Please do that. Father and Son Treasures up in Chicago. Thank you guys so much. Gentlemen, I appreciate the $20 super chat. And please come to Florida ASAP so we can go out. They did make the trip down here, and you know, I hope they get to come down here more. So thank you guys so much for all your support. I appreciate both of you here in the channel. Okay, so hello to everyone else who's in the chat. Jen is in the chat, and a lot of my regulars, and all of you that were early. So let's talk about bulk purchasing. What does it mean? What is it? How do you do it? Who's it good for? Who's it bad for? What's it cost? All that good stuff. Bulk purchasing is good for anybody. It's good for everybody. It's a way to buy a lot of merchandise. So let me tell you guys a little bit about what I'm doing currently, and then I'm gonna segue that into how you can do that as well, because everyone's first question is gonna be, where can I get good stuff? Who's got good prices? Who can I trust? And I'm gonna give you a couple of examples, and I'm gonna give you some places you can go. I do have a couple of sources that are really good, I've talked about before, and then I'm gonna tell you how I go about things. So what I'm doing right now is I have begun a niche Poshmark closet because of what I'm selling being in volume. So Poshmark is free to list on. It doesn't cost for a store, and it doesn't cost insertion fees if you go over so many items. So if you want to sell an item that you have thousands of, or thousands of different items, it's a great place to start for clothing, accessories, and now home decor. And so I'm selling neckties. Everyone knows I've sold neckties in the past. I've done well on neckties. Here's the reasoning behind what I'm doing in bulk. And let me give you an example. Everything started coming in this week. You guys can probably see this is probably about 300 or 400 neckties. I've got about 800 inbound, maybe more. I don't even know. My average cost of goods is very, very cheap. It's why I like doing neckties, because they're under $1 average cost of goods. So, but it's volume-based business. Now, there's some people that would rather buy PlayStations all day and make 50 bucks profit on a PlayStation and only have to sell 3 or 4 items a day to make a good living. I want to do a volume-based business because there's almost no cost of goods, and because there is, an availability to build inventory. Now, I don't recommend doing what I'm doing with neckties, because if I had neckties in quantity, like 50 of each, I could list one listing and get 50 up. That would be amazing, but it just doesn't exist. The only way to really do that is private label. If you don't know what private label is, Google it. But other than that, if you're going to be thrifting items or buying items, they're all going to be unique one-off items, and you got to have the easiest items to list. Now, shirts and shorts and tops and dresses make way more money, and even shoes make way more money than ties. Ties are going to be an average sale price of $12, $13. You're going to make $6, $7 a piece. Way less than anything else, and they're slower selling. So why would I sell them? Well, because we have a system to list. Once Kate is back from her vacation and we get done with eBay Open, we have a way to list about 60 to 80 ties a day. We have a template, we have a photography process, we have an ability to do all this and list with almost no cost, no storage, very easy shipping, very lightweight, the same cost. We're gonna run a process. So we started on Poshmark because it's free. We're gonna get them all up, and then we're gonna cross-post all of them over to eBay, and then have ties selling on both platforms. We'll have to keep up with removing them, because as of now, there's no software that automatically lists and removes them from both platforms. Hopefully that's coming. We're kind of planning on that as well, that they're going to be a software. But that doesn't mean you can't do it with other merchandise. You could certainly buy 100 t-shirts in bulk and have them shipped in a box. And then if you put together a process to even, mannequin on, take pictures, shirt off, shirt on, shirt off. The point is, you're going to remove 3 or 4 hours a day from sourcing, but going out and buying 1, 2, 3, 4, you might only be able to buy 30 shirts in a day, and it takes you 3 days to get 100. Now you've wasted 3 or 4 hours a day, 10, 12 hours to get your 100 shirts. Meanwhile, you could just order 100 shirts. You might pay a little more to have it delivered to your door. Always expect that. But it's going to get delivered to your door, and you got all that time to sit and perfect that process and list. With ties, I can get them for 10, 15 cents a piece at the Goodwill outlet by the pound in the bins, because you can pile a whole pile of ties up. It's only going to cost you like $3, and all of a sudden you pay 10 cents a tie. Or I can pay people 50 cents and $1 and $1.50 or 75 cents and have them all shipped to my door. Take the good with the bad. A lot of these are good, a lot of these are bad, but I'll make all the money off the good ones, and then everything else will just be profit as itself. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys on why you want to do bulk purchasing. So you can have multiple Posh closets, but I think you have to email them and ask. Now, most of you will realize that if you're selling clothing and you need to get 100 or 200 or 300 listings up, you're going to expect to sell 2 or 3 items a day, 1% per day. So for every 100 items you have active, you should be selling about 1 item a day. Unless you have all Burberry and Versace, then you're going to sell out your inventory in 12 hours. But on a good normal inventory of Columbia and Tommy and Polo and those sort of things, you should sell 1 item per 100 a day if you're keeping up with it and listing and sharing. Sometimes you'll have good days, you'll sell 2, 3, 4 items. Sometimes you won't sell anything. So if you have a couple 100 items up, you can expect to do that. If I have 200 or 300 ties up, I'm probably only expecting to sell 1 or 2 a day at best. It takes thousands of ties. I've referenced you guys to a gentleman out of Lake Austin, Texas, that has over 20,000 ties on eBay active at any 1%. If you do one or at any one time, he should be selling, in theory, at 1%, 200 ties a day. He sells about 100 to 150 ties a day. So he's at 0.5% to 0.75%. So that's what I anticipate. It's going to take 150 to 200 ties to sell 1 a day. And that's fine. If I get better quality, Charvet, Donald Trump, Gucci, Burberry, those things, they'll sell faster, just like clothing. But there is a slower sell rate. But I can get up way more ties than I can clothing, and that's just what I choose to do. So that's what we're doing. We're keeping our electronics store. Don't worry, I have that other eBay store with electronics where we sell PlayStations and iPods and GoPros and everything you can think of where we make money. But this is something I want to experiment with and try. So I've bought bulk ties. You guys are welcome to email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll take a look at what you have. I do want a mix of good and bad. I don't want just your leftover cherry-picked junk. I do want some good stuff and bad stuff. But I'll pay you, and we'll work out a deal. Anyway, so let me look at the chat. I'll answer some of these questions about this. But next, I'm going to get into where you can buy bulk goods, what to look for, and what to pay. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let me jump on the chat really quick here and see if anybody had anything that I need to address really quickly. Yeah, Jeremy mentioned the shipping on ties, the $6.79 on Posh. That's true. To sell a tie on Posh, you have to drastically move the price down to take the shipping into account for that. It's still, if the tie's worth $20, free shipping on eBay, you'll just list it for 13 or 14 on Posh and let it sell. That's just the way it works. With that said, a lot of these are going to get cross-posted to eBay, and whichever platform they sell on, fantastic. Multiple Posh closets I addressed. You have to email them. Is Poshmark a better platform than eBay for ties? Probably not, James. Probably eBay's still better, especially for the weird ones. I've just always had a knack and a feel for ties. I do better than most people. Carrie's Closet sold a tie this morning. Backpacks is something that absolutely sell, Becky, especially for hikers. JanSport Vintage is really hot right now. You could do stuff like that. If you sell things on the same platform, cancel with Posh, not eBay. It's not good etiquette, but it won't get your account suspended yet. Hopefully they don't implement that. Hopefully they come up with a software soon, either 6bit or Sellbrite or one of those cross-platform posting softwares that will allow us to automatically remove it. Sellbrite works between eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Newegg, a couple other platforms, Rakuten, I think, Bonanza maybe. And when an item sells on one, it removes it automatically from all the rest. So that's pretty cool. Not available for Poshmark yet that I know of. If anybody knows of one, please tell me. Which tie brands to avoid? Anything Walmart, Target brand, unless it has a unique design on it. You want to go for things like Jay Garcia, Donald Trump. Tommy Hilfiger does okay. Polo does okay. Calvin Klein does iffy at best. Countess Mara's really good. Anything with animals or sports teams, any novelties, lawyer ties. I have some ties in there that say not guilty with some lawyer stuff on it. It's pretty cool. Religious ties do okay. Things with crazy designs will do okay. Obviously the designer brands, Louis Vuitton, Hermes is really high end. Hermes is really high. Charvet, Brioni, Burberry, Gucci. Any of those are going to sell really good. Anything collectible edition, like the Save the Children, the Museum of Natural History has a line of ties that I get animal prints on them. Anything that's like doctor or veterinary with dogs or doctor scenes or nurse scenes. Nicole Miller makes a really good brand of ties that is popular. Tabasco, the Coca-Cola ones, the novelty ones. I sold one with Hershey's chocolate bars on them. Anything unique like that will do well. So, yeah, I don't do a timer, Renee, but I do time myself from start to finish. I can take a tie. This is just an Izod tie. It's nothing special, but I can take a tie like this start to finish. It's 4 photos for ties. So what we do now is we're just rolling the ties up, and these ones are all laid out, so I don't have them ready, but we're just rolling ties, and then we're taking a rolled picture like, here, let me turn it around. We're taking a rolled picture kind of like that, and then we take a second picture with the tape measure over it, one without it and one with on it, showing the width, and then we take a third picture that's going to be the back with, like the tag, and then we might include, we might lay these because this says 100% silk on it right there. That tag says 100%, so we might like take a picture with the tags, and then a fourth picture of just the back of the tie, just showing it like, something like that, or like fold it in half. So 4 pictures of the ties, 3 to 4 pictures at least. And then, you've got the measurements because you measure it. You stick a little tape measure over that with the width, and then you just measure the length and add the link to it. And then the description really doesn't have to be all that much. You can just put, Izod men's 100% silk necktie, orange and blue striped, 3.5 inches wide, 59 inches long, excellent pre-owned condition, ships fast, boom. And you have that in a template. You can finish the description in 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You can do your photos in 60 seconds. You can get a tie done in 3 minutes. Honestly, 3 minutes, 20 an hour. But to be realistic, my goal is going to be 15 an hour. So if I do it for 2 hours and Kate does it for 2 hours, we could, in theory, list 60 ties a day in 2 hours without any sourcing, without anything, but just listing 60 ties a day, 300 in a week, 1,200 for a month, not working on the weekends. And over the course of 6 months, we could have 5, 6, 7,000 ties listed. So that is kind of our goal. We want to build a huge quantity store. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So, let's keep going. I have a service that doesn't allow posture. I've been having so much trouble with photos. Got the white background and lights, but my phone camera makes them dark. Got a GoPro and hoping I can play with it. If you have an iPhone, iPhones have a lot of filters that will brighten it up. Vivid, vivid warm, vivid cool. I'm using just an iPhone in square mode to take it for Poshmark because they have to be in square mode. So we're just, photo, photo, photo. Now, you should be using white backgrounds because eBay asked for it. Posh isn't as picky. So we're doing black glass. If you've never seen Jamie Pace's pictures, black glass is an awesome background for ties for Poshmark. And it's hopefully going to work really well for us. I just started. I'm up to like 30 listings on Posh, 30 ties. The goal again by tomorrow, I'll have 50 or 60 up. And then next week, I'm going to hammer into it. I want to have 250. I want to have 1,000 up by eBay Open next month. So that's kind of that goal. Okay. So congratulations for the 7 sales, solid sales. Fastest moving brand of ties. All the ones I mentioned. Donald Trump is Quick, Charvet, Charvet. Any designer brand, Gucci, Burberry, Louis Vuitton, Hermes. Any of those are going to sell really quick. Brioni is really fast as well. I buy bulk. Okay, so buying bulk. Let's talk about where to buy it, how to buy it, everything that we need to talk about with that so you can start buying bulk. Do you do variations on same brand of ties or do you do an individual for all ties? They need to be individual. Variations are not made for you to list one Izod tie that's orange and blue striped, for you to list your red one and your pink with purple polka dots and your 47-inch one. It's not made for that individual one. If you have the same tie and it's solid orange and you get a blue one, maybe you could do a variation on that, or it's a different length, absolutely. Otherwise, it needs to be individual. Okay, where to buy bulk? So bulk purchasing can be done all over Google. You can look it up. I have recommended 2 or 3 sites for you guys, and I'm going to recommend one tonight too that I've used before and recommended before, but I have done business with probably 15 or 20 bulk companies, like wholesale liquidation bulk companies. You guys know all the big ones, Blue Lots and BoxBox and bulk.com and Bstock and who else? All the big B-Stock Supply, and I've done business liquidations.com. I've done business with all of those companies, and I've done okay on some. I've done horrible on the others, but for the most part, a lot of that merchandise is very slim pickings, low margin values, a lot of work, and with a lot of bulk companies, people have an over expectation of what they're going to get. They think they're going to buy a box of $500 worth of stuff, and they're going to sell it for $5,000. That's just not going to happen. You're going to buy for $5,000, you're going to sell for $1,000. Now, that's what's kind of good about my ties. I am buying them at a fair price. I'm paying fair, and you guys can email me and find out. But I'm paying such a small percentage that the percent of margin is still really high. If I spent $1,000 on neckties and I paid even $1 a piece on average, and I bought 1,000 ties, I expect my return to be 5, 6, 7 times my money. I would hope that I'm netting clean and clear on average $6 or $7 or $8 a tie times most of those ties. Some of them are not going to sell. Some are going to sell for $20. Some are going to sell for $15. I want to make $7, $8, $9, $9, $8 to be fair. Average, that's $8,000 on a $1,000 purchase, 8 times my money. If you buy a $500 box from Blue Lots, you're not going to make, $4,000. You're not going to make 8 times your money. You're going to be lucky to make 2 times your money and make $1,000 bucks. And that's just how a lot of profit works on bulk purchasing and wholesale. And you have to have that realistic expectation. You need to find an item with a good return. And that's why, ties take all the work. That's why I'm able to buy them, because a lot of you don't want to do the work and take the time. And that's totally understandable. It's a lot of work and a lot of time, but I've dedicated myself to doing this. So have an expectation, a realistic expectation when you're buying bulk purchases and wholesale. And that's why I want to talk about a couple other sources. Avril's Trading Post, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. USPS requirements when shipping lithium batteries: no airmail, they must go ground. FedEx ground, UPS ground, or USPS like Parcel Select or Parcel Post or whatever it is, all ground shipping for US for liquidation lithium batteries. Okay, so where should you be buying? Well, I've recommended, B-Stock. It's a huge company, but again, profit margins are slim, but they have a huge amount of inventory. Suncoast Liquidators across town, really good friends of ours, have great merchandise. You can check them out, suncoastliquidators.com. And then, of course, my good friend who, all transparency, is a personal friend. I've known him through business first. I knew him as a friend second, so I vouch for his business first. I vouch for him as a friend, of course. But Chris, who owns CNC Wholesale, which you guys are familiar with, has a lot of inventory, a lot of merchandise. In fact, he did give me permission to link out a couple things for you guys tonight. He did have in case anybody who's watching, because we figured we'd have some bulk purchasing people tonight, wants a wholesale lot of sport coats and suit jackets. He has one available. I just linked it over in the chat, and I'll link it down in the description box after the video. But that is available on his site now. And then if you don't, he has some other lots if you click on his site as well, that you can check out in addition to that lot of suit jackets. So he does have available inventory for you guys to check out. So I just linked it. If anybody wants it, grab it. It'll probably disappear tonight. It's really, really cheap. And then I will also link you guys his actual website where you can see everything that he's got. Give me just a second here. And then the rest of his website is going to be the CNC Wholesale website. Here's the rest of his website. And that should take you straight to his thing. If not, just click on the other one and then click the home button. That looks like that other website's not working. Okay, so anyways, yeah, just click on the one and then click on his home button and you can see his other lots. So it's CNC Wholesale Solutions. That's the link. Just click right on that and then go to his homepage. Okay, so that's another really good source to go to. So save his website, save Suncoast liquidators.com, and check those out. They have amazing pallets, amazing inventory and sources over on CNC's website. What's up, Bob? And you guys can always be on the lookout for that inventory. Buying it and bringing it in and paying, a little bit more than you're used to paying at thrift stores is absolutely worth cutting out all that time and bringing stuff in. The thing that you have to remember when you're buying bulk is that you can't buy it. This is a huge mistake that everybody makes. They buy a bunch of bulk, and take my neckties for perfect example. I purchased all of these on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and they all started shipping out to me, Monday. One of them actually showed up Monday. Somehow somebody got it out Saturday. And they just start sitting here and doing nothing with them. Well, all of my boxes showed up Monday and Tuesday/Wednesday. And I've already got, like I said, by the end of the night, I'll have 60 up. By tomorrow, hopefully around 80 to 100 listed first week. So if you buy the merchandise, you cannot let it become a death pile and stack up. You've got to be ready to process it. You have saved all that time sourcing. Do not let the 100 t-shirts or the 100 suit jackets or the 50 pairs of shoes that you buy sit on your table or in your closet or wherever you do your buying and stock up. So that is like one of the biggest no-nos because you are shelling out all that money at once. You've got to get it up and get it sold. The other good thing about my wholesaling is that, if I did buy 1,000 ties at $1,000 and I expected to get back, $9 per item in my pocket on the best items, I'd only have to sell 10%, 100 items to get back 900, 111, 110 items, 111 items, and I would recover my capital, 10%. If you can recover your capital on 10 to 15% of the merchandise, you are absolutely buying wholesale correctly. Even if you could do it on 20 or, even maybe 30%. If it's taking you half of the merchandise to recover your money, that's still good margins. That means you're doubling your money. Because let's say you spent $1,000 and you paid $1 a piece, and you expected, 500 of them to sell for $2 a piece, and you get your 1,000 back, then you're going to double your money. But you want to buy at the best margins you can. So check out the links I gave you. I'll put them down in the description box if you're watching this later. Also in the description box are all the links. Everyone asked for individual Amazon, eBay, and Poshmark training. They're all down there. The special price with the trio. I threw in the accounting program and the bolos if you get that trio for eBay, Amazon, and Posh with the VIP membership and the accounting and everything. It's all down there. You'll see it. Okay, so Debbie Osborne, you rock. Thanks for all you do for us. Thank you, Debbie. I really appreciate that. Adam linked it too in the group. He's linking over there. So okay, so let me open it up to some questions. I want to see what everyone has on questions for bulk, wholesale, liquidations, or any other questions, really. Mike has the first one. Mike Conrad, what kind of sell-through rate do you look for in clothing? You mentioned a lot of brands that pass up because the sell-through rate is less than 30%. So honestly, most people were averaging 1% a day on sell-through. So for every 100 items of clothing you have listed, you should sell one a day. So if you're going out and you're looking at items that you should be buying in brands, take, for example, my favorite item, and I'm going to make up numbers, but I'm going to give you examples. Tommy Bahama shirts, right? Let's say that there is 10,000 Tommy Bahama shirts active, right? And you go over to Solds and you find that there's 10,000 Tommy Bahama shirts sold. That means in the last 90 days, there have been 20,000 shirts totally between whether they were listed active and the ones that were listed and actually sold. 20,000 total, 10,000 over here sold, and 10,000 still active. And so that means 50% of every Tommy Bahama shirt has sold, and that's a really good sell-through rate. So let's take another example. Let's take the same Tommy Bahama shirt with 10,000 active, and let's say that there were, 5,000 sold. So 15,000 total listed. A third of them have sold. That's still a pretty good rate, 33.33%. If you took those same 15,000 items and you had them all listed up and you divide that out, 5,000 items were selling over 90 days. That's a default eBay. That means 55 a day were selling, 56, 55 and a half, 56, 56 shirts a day. 5,000 items of a brand, of an item you're looking for, sell per day in 90 days. That's what eBay's default sold is. You will have 56 selling per day. And that means there were 15,000 listed at any given time. Probably less because some sold and then some were listed later. But 15,000 at a 0.01%, 1% per day, is 150, which means that's selling at a third of a percent. It's a little bit slow. So 33%, 30% is really my low cutoff. When we start seeing items with only 15 and 20% 90-day turnovers, that's low. You don't want to go that low. Some of you might not understand what I'm saying, but that's what I was trying to explain. When you look up an item, if I'm looking up Izod striped ties, and 100 of these are active, and then I go to Solds and I see that 50 of them have sold over the last 90 days, that means there were 150 total Izod striped ties listed. There's 100 active and 50 sold. That means 1/3 of all the Izod ties that have appeared on eBay in the last 90 days have actually sold. 33% of them, or 11% per month. Now, 11% per month means something like 1/3 of a percent per day, right? Because 11%, if 1% per day was selling, we would have sold 30% over the month. 30 days, 1% per day, 30%. If we were selling at 0.5%, we would have sold 15. We didn't even get to 15 ties. We only got to 11% for the month. So we're at like 1/3 of a percent. And so you really want to try to get above that number. Okay. So I do promote, no, Amazon listings I don't promote. No, I've never promoted Amazon. Sorry. Sellbrite is a good one. What is a good sell-through rate acceptable for shoes? Definitely want to be at 30%. I value 30% or better, 40% as much as possible. No issues with eBay servers being down. Jen having issues. Neutron says he has that tie for sale. Izod is not a good tie brand for me. I don't do well on it. Some people do. I'll list this one. I'll put it up for $9.99 free shipping because remember, I'm just trying to quantity list. And so every tie that's high end sells and gets me my money back. And these little ones that net me $5 or $6 end up being just profit. They're just profit coming in. A lot of people are like, oh, why would you spend your time doing all this to make $5? Listen, when I'm putting up 60 or 70 ties, 200-300 ties a week, and I'm selling 50 or 100 of them, and I'm making $6-7 a piece, I'll take $500 or $600 profit per week. I'll take $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And as we build the store in the next 6 months or a year, and that ends up, tripling or quadrupling, all of a sudden you guys are going to see in the beginning of 2020 that I've got 5,000 ties listed, and we're selling, 100 ties a day or 60 ties a day or 70 ties a day, and they're all profit, and I'm making $6 or $7 a piece. And all of a sudden we're making $350, $400 a day, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 a month in profit. You'll understand why I built this. This is a long-term build for me. 6 months to a year is the goal. By the end of the year, I want to be making at least $4,000 to $5,000 in profit on just ties outside of my other store, outside of all the clothing and stuff that I still have selling and shoes, and outside of Amazon, we're still going to have those electronics going on. We're still going to have those items selling, but I want to have a Posh only closet and a eBay only tie store where those two are working together to promote and have promoted listings at 1% or 2%, to run sales on 10% on old ties, to have the Posh closet sharing all the time, and to be selling, 20 ties a day on Posh and 50 ties a day on eBay, and that's the goal. What do I think is a good sell-through rate for sterling silver? I do not do jewelry. I apologize. Tanya is really good, thrifty trader down in Texas. I don't do jewelry. I'm sorry about that. A second store I don't recommend. I have a second store for my privacy because my electronics and high-end and all my other stuff I keep private from everyone just in case there's ever a big issue, which I have had a couple of times in the past. And so it's something I think about, and I always have my stuff. Okay. You just ordered. Glad I got a larger place. Annette, what did you just order? Yeah, Mark, it's $10 tie with $7 shipping makes the tie $17. If your tie is only worth $10 or $12 and you know it's going to be $7 shipping, you have to price the tie accordingly. And that's really, all you can do. If you're going to price a tie at $6 with 6 something shipping to make it 12, that's really, $6 is going to cost you, $2.95. So, I mean, you're only going to make, what, 6 minus $2.95 is what, $3.05? $3.05. You really can't sell that tie on Poshmark. That would have to be a tie, that you either have to set it at a price at like $9 and tell everyone, it's $6.79 for shipping. So it's $15.79, or you're going to put it over on eBay for $14 free shipping. But remember, even if you have top rated seller plus, a $14 tie is going to cost you in fees and shipping. Give me just a second here. Plus 266. You're gonna pay like $4.80 for that tie off your 14. So you're gonna make $9.20. You got to sell it on eBay because you're only gonna make $3 or $4 on Posh. So you got to sell it on eBay. You have to. Those are the ones that you'll do. Bow ties, not so much. Every once in a while, I sell one. Yes, it really pays to cross list. Cufflinks, I haven't done. If you want to do a men's designer store, there are some people that do neckties, bow ties, cufflinks, dress shoes. They do that kind of thing. That's their whole store. So you could do that. Donna Vidzicki, on Excel spreadsheets, how do you put a cost on personal items that you sell? So Donna, so what's going to happen is your item's going to sell for $20. And if it's a personal item, you're going to have fees that you're going to pay. And you have two. So the money that you sell it on is going to be reported to the IRS as a cost of, as a sale amount, because the IRS doesn't know it's a personal item. So you have to put that in as a cost to offset that entire thing, less what the fees were. Because the fees, like that $20 might have $4 in fees. So if you write off the $20, you've written off the entire item, but also the fees. So you want to make it equal to what the item is less fees. Yeah, you could also, Jen has another answer. You could also just put in that, if you did $1,000 in sales and then you did you sold your personal item for $100, so your total's 11, you could report it as, and somebody check with a CPA on this, but this is how I understand it. You could report the 1,100 in income as 1,000. And if the IRS audits you and says, hey, you did 1,100, as long as you have a receipt to show that the $100 sale was a personal item and you can write that off, then that $100 of income does not actually need to be put in with the same $1,000 that you did on regular business sales. That is a question for a CPA. Definitely check with them. I don't sell any of my personal items on my accounts. The very rare times that I do, I typically don't even deduct it. I don't care. But if I sell things personally, generally I have somebody sell it for me. I sell it locally, or I sell it directly. Maybe I try not to sell personal items. I try not to. It's just a pain in the butt. Bonanza is very, very slow of a platform. It syncs with eBay, but it's terribly slow. Bonafide Hustler, what is up? Bonafide Hustler. By the way, you should come to Austin next week. Holy crap, you need me to jump on a plane next week? Kate's out of town. She won't be back. Oh. Bonafide can never make eBay open, and I can never make green room. Ugh. You can spot clean ties. You can have them dry clean. You can spot clean them. There's some things you can use. You can steam them. If they have wrinkles really bad, you can use a steamer on them as well. You can do free shipping and increase the price, or you can increase the shipping price on eBay. Yeah, definitely ask a CPA about that personal item deduction, not adding it into your sales rather than writing it off. Bonafide, Chris, I wish I could. Man, last year he asked me to come to Green Room and I couldn't. I had plans, and now this year Kate is out at my fiance. You guys may not know my fiance Kate. She helps handle the back end. Plus, when I'm out of town, she watches our wrecking crew, our pups, which I have no idea where they are right now. I think they're both laying down. She's gone until, I think, give me a second. She's been gone since Sunday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She doesn't come back till Wednesday or maybe Thursday of next week. I'm not 100% sure. So the earliest I could leave would be Thursday or even Friday maybe. I'm not sure. I'll look at the schedule, but I don't think so, Chris. I don't think so. Yeah, make sure you guys do hit the like button. I do appreciate it. There's 238 viewers. If you guys could hit the thumbs up before you leave, I appreciate that. And make sure that you do go check out Adam's exploits. He linked his YouTube channel. Make sure you give him a subscribe. Get him to 1,000. He only needs a few of you to go over there. Yes, even Silk. Is anyone doing it full-time in South Carolina? Yes, multiple people in South Carolina. They have good thrifting. If you're up near Charlotte and can cross the border, you can do South Carolina and North Carolina. You guys remember Sid, who's been on my channel a lot. She is formerly from South Carolina / Florida. She did for many years South Carolina, so it's doable. Doable. What's up, Colorado Tex? How you doing? Welcome. Chris, I will shoot you. I'll shoot you a message after the live show, buddy. I'll shoot you a message. I'll check the schedules. Whew, man, I really want to go to Austin. Really want to go. Okay. Anyway, so any more questions? Let me know. Please don't forget to check out the description box. Check out CNC Wholesale in case you guys want to buy something from over at CNC. They can do wonders for you. Gonna read any more of the questions coming through the chat. Give me just a quick second here. If you wanted to visit CNC for wholesale merchandise, it's right there. I just linked it again. Thrifting is great in South Carolina. Charleston has good thrifting, absolutely. I do go to estate sales, and you can get a lot of neckties from estate sales. Most people tend to pass them up, which is pretty funny, actually. People don't like ties. People don't like to do the work on neckties. I suppose it's not fun work, but I enjoy it. I enjoy listing ties more than almost anything. So, yeah. You're welcome, Jane. I appreciate it. Coming to Colorado soon. Drive Time with Dave is in Colorado, actually. Those of you that know Drive Time, he's in Colorado. So that's the links. I just put them in the chat for CNC. You guys can check it out. And hopefully you find something. Again, that goes to the Sport Coat lot, and then you can just click his home button and take a look at the rest of his lots. And if there's anything else I can help anybody with, otherwise, you guys, I have hundreds of ties, hundreds, and I got to check on tracking for a couple more boxes of ties that are coming in. I've got to go through all of these, sort them, and get to work on them. Michael Kors ties do good. I've got some Michael Kors ties. I've got a ton of Jay Garcia, probably 20 of them. I've got Polo. I've got Tommy Hilfiger. I've got the Lawyer ties. I've got a Burberry tie. I've got Looney Tunes ties. I've got Christmas ties. I've got Pronto Umo ties, which this happens to be one. I've got a ton of ties to work on. Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, Brooks Brothers does really well. I've got a Hermes tie that I got on my own. I've got a ton of ties. Charvet, Charles Tawit. I've got so much tie brands. Yeah, so great things. How do I ship them? First class poly mailers, as easy as it is. That's all you have to do. There's nothing really more to it. A lot of these tie brands are on as part of that Bolo list, as part of my bundle of sourcing guides and Bolos. You do get the 50 best tie brands. So if any of you are interested in that, it's linked. It should be linked down in the description box, but if not, I'll put it here. It's a complete sourcing Bolo for 25 bucks. You get the jeans, the ties, the clothing, the shoes, the electronics. You get everything. 11 guides for 25 bucks. So use that link right there and you can hook those up. After your video, I dug out my ties to reshoot and sell. Good night, St. Rogue. Xylos ties are slow for me, but occasionally I sell one. Occasionally, Jen. Occasionally. Okay, so is Augusta a good place to source? I don't know about Augusta. I know Atlanta's really good, though. I know somebody in Atlanta that does well. So thank you guys so much for watching the live show, for everybody taking the time out. Do please, right below me is a thumbs up with the blue. Turn it blue. Make sure it is blue. And make sure the subscribe button is hit as well. And check out Adam and CNC before you guys roll out. I do appreciate you supporting other businesses like Chris at CNC and Adam over at Adam's Exploits on the YouTube channel. There's tons of people, tons of good information, tons of places to get good merchandise. But make sure you are buying in bulk. It is the only way to scale, guys. You can't go from buying 10, 20, 30 items a day, 100 items a week, 150 items a week, to getting 100, 150 in one day mailed to your house, or in my case, 800 over the weekend. And honestly, you guys, I just told you I paid less than $1 a piece. I only paid $600 or $700 to have all this shipped in, and now we've got inventory to last us for the entire week. I can sit here and have 800, 900, 1,000 items a week just shipped in and get the sales rolling. So buy in bulk, guys. Buy in bulk. I don't care if you buy TV remotes or neckties or T-shirts, or buy a bulk box of 200 pairs of jeans for $2 a piece and spend $400, or $3 a piece and spend $600. Whatever you got to do, get stuff coming in faster. Cut the sourcing. If you don't have the capital or the space or the time or the ability, keep thrifting. Keep going to yard sales. Keep going to flea markets. Keep listing or buying individually. Keep building the inventory until you get the sales to be able to purchase bulk merchandise. All right, so everybody going to Vegas. We are 1 month out exactly. I leave in 1 month from Sunday. 4 weeks from Sunday, we will be out of here. And can't wait to see all of you guys. If you're in Vegas, in the area, say hello to us. Come to the Skyfall on Monday, July 22nd. Even if you don't have an eBay open ticket, come hang out with us. Come to dinner. Come to get drinks. Go to the casino. Go to a show. Go to a meetup. Go to our cocktail hour. Whatever you need to do, we'll see you guys in Vegas. Thank you to everyone. If you have more questions, leave it down in the comments section. Email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. And we will catch up with everybody next week here on the live show, 9 p.m. Eastern. And make sure you're on my email list, rockstarflipperonline.com, www.rockstarflipperonline.com. And click to join the email list. First, last name, and email. It takes 10 seconds, and you will get updates when I have more bulk lots available. I'm going to be getting some more links from Chris and everybody else to link you out some awesome wholesale lots in case you're interested in that. So thank you. As always, check out Adam's. Thank you, Adam, for adminning. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I will see you guys next week, and I'll see you tomorrow with the normal videos and 100 awesome more items to sell on eBay, Amazon, and Poshmark. Good night, everyone.